So I decided to add a transfer tank to my Dodge because towing the fifth wheel, I only got about a 350 mile range, and I wanted a little bit longer drive time between fill-ups. Originally, when I installed this tank, I just used the gravity feed, and it took about 2 days to put a half a tank of diesel fuel from the transfer tank into the main tank. Needless to say, I decided to put an electric fuel pump on this transfer tank to increase the speed of transferring fuel. This video is how I accomplish that. And at the end, we'll see if it works, if it transfers diesel fuel a little bit faster from the transfer tank to the main tank. Stay tuned. So here's what I'm using to install the fuel pump to my transfer tank. I've got this fuel pump, got it off of Amazon. It's like a Brock's fuel pump. I chose this one because it said it would handle diesel fuel, and it says when it's not running, fuel will not flow through it. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case. I'll probably always keep the valve shut on my transfer tank when I'm not using it. I got a switch, some connectors, wires, and I got a fusible link, 20 amp I'll put in there. And then for tools, it should be fairly simple, just a couple wrenches and wire strippers, heat gun, and then some shrink tube, and then some solder seal wire connectors. Alright, to start, I'm going to disconnect the batteries. I kind of already started this one. Alright, so my batteries are disconnected. Next, I'm going to figure out the location I want for this switch. And this is probably one of the only places where I can actually get the switch in. So I'm going to put it here. It should be enough out of the way. So to get in there, I'll just take out this. Alright, and then I'm going to have to drill a hole through here. And you can see there's a space there where it should be able to go through fairly easily. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of put it right in here. Alright, now that I have that installed, I'm going to cut my wires and start running those. Okay, so this next part I might not be able to video too well, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a wire from the battery through the firewall into here. I need a ground and a positive wire from battery to the switch, and then I'm going to have to find, or not find, but I'm going to have to get another power wire from the switch back to the pump. Alright, so here's the ground wire. It'll come over to the ground terminal. And the power wire so there, those wires are cut. Okay, so next step, I'm going to figure out where I want to put the fuel pump. And I think I'm going to put it about right in here. If I can pull it up or bolt it up, it'll kind of tuck it behind this filler tube, and it'll be a little easier to get a bolt through there so I can tighten it. So now that I have that position, okay, so I'm gonna actually connect the wire to these right now before I install the pump, just because I feel it'll be easier and I'll know I'll have a good connection versus doing it under the truck. So what I'm gonna do is connect these wires using these solder seal wire connectors and some heat shrink tube. Alright, so you want to make sure you connect these properly. On this, it shows the positive wire is the brown one. Alright, so I'm going to put the heat shrink tube on them. I'll run the heat shrink tube over it. And do the same for the ground. All right, so now I'm going to install this in here. Just make sure the out, it's labeled out, is going towards the fuel tank. I'll hold off on completely tightening that until I have the hoses on and make sure they're going to run properly. From here, I'm going to run these wires along the side of the truck and then up into the cab the same way I put the other wires. So I'm going to route the wire, come into the conduit, and then go up to the front of the truck, up into the firewall. Okay, so now that I've ran the wires up from the fuel pump into here, I am going to wire them into this switch. Now, the two ground wires will go to this connection here. The fuel pump wire will go here, and then the power wire to the positive terminal of the battery will go here. Then I'm going to put some heat shrink tube on there. So for the ground wires, I'm just going to put them together. So here are the ground wires. Okay, now once that's done, I'm just going to put this back up there. Alright, again, now I'm going to install a fusible link on this. I got that fuse on. I'm going to put the connector on. Now I have the connector to the ground. And now I will connect the batteries back up. All right, now I'm just gonna make sure my fuel's cut off. And I've gotta cut this fuel line so I can splice it into the fuel pump. Make sure that should be good right about there. So there's a little fuel in there. All right, now I'm going to just try and hook these fuel lines in. Out that one. All right. Okay, Now that is finished. Well, now see if she works. Okay, so now moment of truth. Open up the valve. Let air get in there. As I said before, the fuel took about 2 to 3 days to go fill half a tank. Now with the pump, we'll just see how long it takes. As you can see, we're coming up on 15 minutes. In the 15 minutes, it put about a quarter tank of diesel into the main tank, which is much faster than the gravity feed. And shut her off. One thing I do like about this switch, when it's on, it turns red. Hopefully I won't accidentally leave it on, because I will see that. Well, that is how I wired up my transfer tank with an electric fuel pump. If you found the video helpful and you want to support the channel, please like and subscribe, and appreciate you watching. Thank you.